Hey guys, and welcome back. In today's video, I wanted to declutter my collection of makeup. I just recently filmed a full face of products that I hate video, and obviously I decided, okay, these products I do not like, so I'm going to get rid of them. I'm going to give them to my sisters. And then it got me thinking, there's other stuff in my collection that literally just takes space. I never use it. I don't like it for whatever reason. So I just need to declutter it. So I thought I might as well just film it so I can share with you guys other things that I just don't care for or whatever, and declutter my stash and just kind of have you along for the ride. So a couple of disclaimers. One, if you hear classical music, you're not going crazy. Charlotte's in her little swing and it plays like weird classical music, and if I turn it off, she'll wake up. So that's just going to be in the background, so don't mind that. And two, pardon my really messy mom hair. But it's clean, so that's a plus. Okay, first off, I have, we're going to do some face products, some eye products, and some lip products. So first, I have a couple of foundations. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I have mine in the color Soft Ivory. This will probably be a little bit of a surprise because a lot of beauty vloggers really love this foundation. I do not. And it's weird because I've seen people who have dry skin as well as oily skin wear this and love it. I have very dry skin and my face hates this foundation. First off, I think that the color selection is very weird. This was the only one that was the closest to me, and I mean, it's very pale, but the other shades were very pink, and I just don't care for pink foundations. So there's one. Two, it smells like straight up paint. Like, it literally smells like the paint that you would go to Lowe's and repaint your kitchen with. If you haven't smelled it, just go to your local drugstore, open up the bottle and smell it. It smells like paint. And that's just, I can't, my brain will not allow me to just get over that because I'm putting paint on my face. So, ugh. And then thirdly, it just really clings to my dry skin. It just does not look good. It makes my skin look extra creepy and dry and just gross. Next is a foundation that I've never talked about on my channel because I bought it and used it a few times on my own and just did not care for it. So this is the Flower Beauty, what are you called? About Face Foundation. I have mine in the shade LF3. Now it has a pump, which is awesome. But there's just something about this foundation that was just really off. The foundation is super duper yellow. There are not that many shade selections in this range, and it just did not look good on my skin. It just made my skin look really dry and powdery and ugh. Next up, I have a couple of highlighters. These are by e.l.f. Now, technically, this one's a blush and this one's a highlighter, but they're basically the same thing. So I have mine in two shades. Technically, the blush one is called Blush Gems, and it is this kind of chromy pink situation right there. And then I have the shade Moonlit Pearls right there. So these highlighters are kind of so-so. They're not anything spectacular or to write home about, but they are also only $3. So it's not it's a major disappointment for my bank account. It's just, there are other drugstore highlighters that I prefer over these. Even there are some eyeshadows that I prefer for highlighters over these. I just don't use them. They just take up space in my drawer, and I feel like my sisters might get more use out of them. Next, I have a blush from Smashbox. This is the Halo Longwear Blush in Blissful. Now, this is one of those blushes that has a little grinder situation, and then it has the powder and it has a little mirror, which in like theory, this is all a really wonderful product. It's just the color is super weird on my skin. It's just like too dark and rosy. And it is like really pigmented. It's just like kablam, right? Like I am far too pale to be wearing something like this on my face. Might make a really pretty eyeshadow though. Okay, my last two face products. I have this deluxe like sample size of this little Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I mean it's still good. And I've had the Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer before, and I used that entire thing up until there was literally crumbs left in it. And this is a good bronzer too. It's just I never reach for this. Like I never ever, there are other bronzers in my collection that I prefer and I just never touch it. So, I mean, this is a good size pan, so I feel like you can still get a lot of use out of this. I just don't use it. So, all right, next up is this Wet n Wild Color Icon Contouring Palette. Now, I'm going to offer it to my sisters. I won't be offended if they don't take it because this thing is like extra hit pan. But I think my youngest sister might like this just because, you know, she's only 15 and she doesn't really like have a lot of money to buy her own makeup, so she might like this. It comes with a light side, which is a really good under eye setting powder. It's really pigmented, but it's really lightweight and it does not emphasize like your under eye creasing or anything like that. And then this is a really good contour shade for fair skin. So, well, you can tell right there. It just makes a nice shadow and it's a really soft blendable powder. This is really, really good for somebody who wants to contour, but they're not really professional at it. Not like there are professional contours out there, but for somebody who's just starting out in makeup, I think this is a really awesome purchase because it's really easy to work with, especially for fairer skin. So this is in Caramel Toffee. Okay, next up I have two eyeshadow palettes. The first one is this Smashbox Cover Shot Smoky Eye Palette. Now I've literally tried this once and it's just, it just doesn't do it for me. It's got two matte shades. Actually, is that one matte? Yeah, that one's matte. So it has 3 matte shades and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shimmers. And it's just not it's not the business for me. The shadows are very pigmented. They're blendable. They're, you know, lovely and whatever. But it's just, like, I literally never, like I said, I've used this once. And it's just, it doesn't tickle my fancy. These aren't really shades that I use. And I feel like my sister Shannon would love this because she loves like glittery eyeshadow looks and everything. And she likes to go for the bold and the dramatic. So, and it has like a really good crease shade as well as a good like highlight brow bone shade. So, I mean, let me give you some swatches. So yeah, these, oh, that green's really pretty. These are beautiful shades and everything. They're just not colors that I typically wear. So but damn, that green shade's really pretty. So yeah, this is the Smoky palette. I really wanted I think it's called Ablaze, obviously, because it's like the warm neutrals palette that has like oranges and reds in it. Because duh, that's like everything I wear all day long. But these are very pretty. It's just, I never, ever, ever, ever use it. I just move it around in my drawer because I never wear it. Okay, this next item is probably going to be a super shock to a lot of people, or maybe not. It depends on your preference. But I am getting rid of my Naked 3 palette. Ooh. I wanted this for a very, very, very long time. I saw it online, I saw YouTube tutorials on it, and I just thought, oh my gosh, this is my jam. these rosy tones are beautiful. Like, I have green eyes. I love wearing pinks and purples and reds and that sort of thing to make my green eyes pop. And I wanted this for a million years, and then I finally got it for my birthday a couple years ago, and I was so, like, bummed. I was so bummed out because, let me, like, just blind you with the sun. I was just super bummed out because I wanted this so badly, and then my mom bought it for me for my birthday, and then I was just like, wah, wah. And it's weird because I have the Naked Basics palette, and I have used that thing like to the ground. I loved that palette when I first got it. I even used it the other day for the first time in a really long time. And the shadows are pigmented and they're blendable and they're beautiful and whatever. And then for this, it's just not the same. Like, I feel like this palette is basically just 12 shades that are like slightly different from one another. You know, like, I feel like there isn't that much versatility in this palette. Plus, and I've said this multiple times, it has, how many shades does this have? 4, 8, 12 eyeshadows, and only 3 are matte. Like, I just don't, like, why, like, brands, I almost said music brands instead of makeup brands. Why makeup brands do you make palettes that are, like, 75% shimmer? I don't like that. And I know that there are palettes out there that are all matte and whatever, and there are people who love shimmers. It's just like, I can't get down with like a mostly shimmer palette, especially when the shades are all so similar to one another. Like these two shades right here, Dust and Burnout. Like, tell me that these aren't basically the exact same shade. You know, like, there's like hardly any versatility in this palette. So I just can't, I don't use this at all, and it's really sad. So I feel like my sisters might get more use out of it, and it just bums me out because I wanted this so badly for such a long time. And if you're wondering, the reason I'm not like putting these in a giveaway or anything like that, because I do want to do giveaways. I just want to do giveaways with makeup that hasn't been touched before, because that's, you know, like, that's sanitary. All this makeup has been used by me, and, you know, like, my fingers have been in it, and my brushes, and that sort of thing. So, like, that's, I don't want to do that. And I know that if I give these to my sisters, like, they're my sisters. Like, they don't care that it's been on my face, and, like, my hands have been in it, and that sort of thing, because they're family. So, I just wanted to say that, just in case anybody was like, wait, give it to us. Because I do want to do giveaways. I just want to do giveaways with clean, fresh makeup that has never been used before. Okay, I think my child is waking up, so we gotta hustle. Okay, next thing I'm getting rid of, this is just one. I have a few of them, but I just wanted to mention one. It's this Rimmel Scandalized Eyeshadow Stick Crayon. This one is in Bad Girl Bronze. It's a regular, like, chubby pencil, and it's not horrible, but I don't know. And I've used it in a tutorial before where I did like a brown smoky eye or something like that. And it's just not my favorite. I feel like it kind of like, you know, is also when you blend it out, it can get kind of patchy. I feel like the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencils are way more worth your money than these. All right, and then the last category that I have, oh my gosh, my chair is stuck. Okay, and then the last category that I have to talk about is lip products. I have quite a few from ColourPop, and then a couple of random ones, and then a few from NYX as well. So to start off with the random ones, I have this guy from Smashbox. It is the, what are you called? The Be Legendary Liquid Metal. Now I got this sent to me, so that's why it's silver. I did not get to choose the color of it. The doe foot applicator on this thing is really awesome because it's like curved, so it really hugs your lips. The formula of these are really nice. I would just wish that I was sent a shade that I would actually use, because girl doesn't wear silver lipstick. Never will. I mean, the only time I would ever do this is if I was like gonna do something for Halloween that required me to have silver lips. And then the next really random one is this Maybelline Baby Lips Color Bomb Crayon in the shade Blush Burst. I talked about this in a flops video. I love baby lips. I had like at one point I think all of them in my collection. You know, like the traditional ones that are like the big thick chapsticks. And then when they came out with this, I was really excited because I was really starting to get into the kind of like light wash of color lip gloss thing. Like I was really getting into that, and I saw these and thought that they would be perfect. And the color on this is very pretty. It's like this kind of corally situation. It's very hydrating, glossy, that sort of thing. However, this color does not translate on the lips. On the lips, it is very frosty, it is very light, and it is very like you took a coral lip gloss and then blended it with like powdered sugar. Okay, next I have some of these lip colors from NYX. They are the Soft Matte Lip Creams. Now, I think I have all of them, which is a lot. Like, I was at one point really obsessed with these. I'm actually wearing one on my lips right now in the shade Amsterdam. So it's not to say that I don't like this line. I do. It's just these 4 colors in particular, they just don't work. So I have the shade Tokyo, which is this like really super pale baby pink color. Then I have this shade in Monte Carlo, which is this really kind of like classic red shade. Then I have the shade Copenhagen, which is more of a darker berry situation. And then I have Transylvania, which is like this really intense, dark, like grape color. So I like these. I'm obviously wearing one right now. It's not, I mean, I guess it is transfer proof a little bit once you really let it dry down. They're really comfortable on the lips. It doesn't really feel like you're wearing anything. However, these 3 colors just don't really work for my lips. This is way too pale of a pink for me. It just makes me look really kind of like dead and weird. And then these 3 darker shades are very, very patchy on the lips. Like, I'm sure you can see like how streaky these look. And on the lips, it's just not, it's not a good look. Like, you want it to be like an opaque, either you want it to be really sheer, where it's like all over sheer, or you want it to be like an opaque, full bold color, you know what I mean? Because on the lips, it'll just look really weird. And then when you try to go over it to like make it even on one color, then it starts to look really thick and clumpy and just not very cute. So those are the colors that I'm getting rid of that. Now the 6 colors that I'm getting rid of from my ColourPop collection, because I do have a decent amount of ColourPop lippies, are all for the same reason, because of this guy. They're just too light for my skin tone or my lips. It just looks very weird. Like my coloring, I just can't pull off these shades. So, and you know, since ColourPop is an online only situation, you can't swatch them to, you know, I mean, you can look at pictures and stuff online of their swatches and everything, but you don't know how it's really going to look until it's like in your hand and on your skin. But now that they're going to be in Sephora, holla! This shade right here is Westie, and it is a matte. This shade right here is Cupid. It's a hyper glossy. And then this is Cake, which is a satin. Now these 3 just look not the best on my lips. They, like, especially this Cupid shade, it's like, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. Maybe I thought it was like more sheer because it's like a hyper glossy, but these like really milky pink glossy shades that are really like highly pigmented just look so bizarre on my mouth. I just can't, I can't hang with those shades. They just look really bizarre on me. So the ColourPop Lippie Stick formulas, especially the matte ones and the satin ones and the creams, like they're all like really, really beautiful. It's just those 3 particular colors just take up space. I never use them because they just look really weird on my lips. The last 3 things I have are these ColourPop, I think they're all Ultra Mattes. Jeez. They are all Ultra Mattes. Now these Ultra Matte lips by ColourPop are like really, they're not my favorite, but the colors are so phenomenal. Like 2 of my favorite ones is Mars, this like beautiful hot pink, and then, where are you? Donut, which is this really beautiful like neutral toned pink color. They're just a little difficult to wear because they're so dry. They're so matte. So you really need to be careful on what color you choose because, especially with these lighter ones, they can make your lips look like the Sahara Desert. So this first shade is called Vice, which is this like super like kind of milky, neutral, pinky nude shade. And like right now, like if this was a gloss or just like an ultra satin, like that would look really pretty. But because it's an ultra matte and it's going to dry down and show every single little like crease and crevice in your lip. Same with this shade, which is called Shimmy. If I can get it open. This is more of like a dusty pink shade. And like I said, when it's right here, it looks really pretty. It looks really beautiful. And, you know, it dries lighter than what it originally gets put on your lips. And it just shows every little crack and crevice and everything in your mouth. And it just is not, it's not the business. And then this last one is called Koala, which I was so stoked about when I first got it because I thought, what a cool, unique shade. Like, that's so awesome. It's like this vibrant pastel purple shade. But same thing, you know, it dries down lighter and it just shows every little crack and crevice in your lips and it's just really unflattering. Very sad. And that's everything for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. What are some of the things that you're decluttering from your collection? I would like to know. So let me know down below. If you liked this video, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you liked me, then please subscribe. If you're interested in all the things that I talked about in this video, then I will, of course, link it down below in the info box along with all of my social medias so you can come find me and say hello. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. So it just doesn't translate. Oh my gosh, dogs, please stop barking. You're gonna wake up my child. Oh, it's because the gardeners are outside. Thank you, gardener.